right, hello everyone and welcome back. I am excited for the series that we're starting because we're working on the whole body in different sections. So the first week we're working on our feet and ankles. Next week we'll be working on legs, hips, glutes. And then the next week, torso area, front and back. And then the last week we shoulders, arms, hands, neck, head, everything else. So this week, of course, feet, ankles, toes. I want you to begin in Shavasana. So laying all the way down on your back, letting your legs reach forward, arms relax beside you, and just take this moment to settle into your space. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Fill your belly up, let your ribs expand. Open mouth, sigh it out. Deep inhale through your nose. And let it go. Last one, just like that. And release. Nice, so start to wiggle your toes and your fingers. Bring your knees into your chest. Let your low back reach towards the ground. And then bring your hands on top of your knees. Keep your big toes to touch. We're gonna take some hip circles here, pulling your knees into your belly, opening your knees up out to the side, and reaching them back forward. So continuing these circular motions with your big toes touching, just kind of waking up the hips here. Start to go the opposite direction, opening out to the side, pulling in, pushing forward. Taking a few more just like that. And begin to find stillness. Stack your knees over your hips so you're creating a 90-degree angle with your legs. Tee out your arms for either side. This is mainly for support, so if you want to adjust, feel free to do so. And then work on pulling your toes towards your shins. So this is flexing your feet. And what you're doing here is activating the shins, the muscles or ligaments surrounding them, and then pulling those toes as hard as you can. And then on your next exhale, we're gonna push forward, so pointing your toes towards the front of the room. You'll notice that you'll feel this more in your calves and the back of your legs. And now open up, pulling, flexing, toes towards shins, and then exhale, point your toes. We're gonna do that 2 more times. So inhale, flex, exhale, point. Inhale, flex, exhale, point. Nice. Now start to straighten up your legs towards the ceiling. We're gonna do the same thing here, but notice a difference when your legs are more straight. So as you inhale, you flex, and you begin to feel the extension between the back of the legs, your hamstrings, your calves, back of your ankles. Exhale, point, and begin to activate your quads, your knees, your shins, front of feet, and ankles. So take that a few more times. Inhale to flex. Exhale to point. Inhale, flex. Exhale, point. Last one. Inhale, flex. Exhale, point. Nice. Now let's shake out your legs. Do a little wiggle jiggle. And then start to bring your feet back up towards the ceiling. We're going to start to flex the toes towards the shin, keeping the legs still, and then your ankles stacked over hips, rotating the bottom of the feet over to the right side of the room. So it's like you're serving a platter over here, and then serving it over to the left side. So legs are staying the same. We're just working on that side to side rotation, seeing where your mobility is at. It might change day to day, that's fine. You might not look as mobile, or you might be more mobile than what I'm doing, that's fine. Gently rock back and forth a couple more times. And bring it back to stillness. Shake it out. And straighten your legs back up. This time we're gonna start to draw the ABCs with our ankles. So it can be uppercase, lowercase, whatever. The purpose here is to work on all those different areas that your feet and ankles are able to move. So you got the flexion, you have pointing, you have rotating just a little bit to each side and down to each side. Keep going. You don't have to finish the full alphabet, but I'm going to let you go for about 3 more breaths. Boop. When I was teaching this in the classroom, it was fun because feet were just going everywhere and I could not tell what letter anyone was on. All right, gently shake it out. Pull your knees into your chest, start to rock back and forth, eventually making your way to a tabletop pose, crossing your ankles, planting your hands, stacking wrists under shoulders and knees under hips. Begin to tuck your toes and start to shift your weight back and forth, just checking in with the bottoms of your feet here. This might feel better for you if you're one of those people that is standing or sitting a lot, so your foot is bent at this angle. Now you might not be used to the toes flexing. Start to walk your hands back and set your hips back on your heels. This is a lot. You could always bring your hands back down. We're just gonna stay here for a moment. But in this position where your toes are tucked and you start to stretch the bottom of your feet, this is working out all the little ligaments and muscles here. We have tons in our feet. And we don't often use them regularly because a lot of times we just stay nice and flat. All right, gently release, bring your hands forward, untuck your toes, tap the bottoms of your feet. We're gonna take it the opposite direction. So tops of feet are planted, start to sit your hips back. Now we're putting more pressure on our ankles and the tops of our feet. If you would like more sensation, you can bring your hands behind your hips and start to lean back. You might feel this in your quads, the tops of your thighs. That's okay, but I want you to focus on your ankles here. So start to work on pulling your knees up if that's the case. Pressing into your feet. So this is the same thing. If you are standing or sitting to where your foot's always flat, you don't always get this ankle stretch either. So that's why it's important for us to work on the mobility this direction as well. And one more inhale. Exhale, softly release. Plant your hands. Find your tabletop again. We're going to keep the left foot, top of the foot down, and right foot reaches back, toes tucked. So same thing here. Start to rock back and forth. Now we've already kind of checked in with the bottoms of our feet. So now I want you to work on moving up the leg. Your ankle, the back of your calf, your hamstring, which is the back of your thigh. Once you've checked in for a little bit, start to reach your heel towards the ground in stillness. Just gently waking up the back side of the leg. Working on pressing your heel down. One more inhale. Exhale, softly release. Switch it to the left side. Tuck your toes. Start to check in with yourself here. And when you're good, you can start to find stillness, reaching your heel towards the ground. Now, when we have downward facing dog, this is a similar concept, right? Our legs are reaching down or straightening out, and our heel is reaching down towards the ground. You're focusing on the calf, ankle, hamstring area. But in down dog, we have that bend in our hips, which brings some more focus to our low back and our glutes. This is giving us a moment to just check in with the leg and less of the lower back and glutes. And gently release. Now we will tuck our toes, find our downward facing dog. Notice the difference here. See how the sensation intensifies? And that's stemming from how mobile and loose your low back, your glutes are. Take a moment here just to settle in. Maybe you start to walk your dog, bend your knees, one leg and the other. And find stillness. Next, inhale, look towards your hands. And exhale, tippy-toe your way to the top of your mat. Practice walking on your toes here, stacking shoulders over wrists. Once you get to the top, inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins, crown of head pulls forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, slowly stack arms, reach high. Exhale, cactus. Now we're just going to take one sun A. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back, flow through your vinyasa. So your vinyasa is your plank. You can modify your chaturanga, drop to your knees. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look towards your hands. Exhale, travel top of the mat. Maybe you step, maybe you tippy toe. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Slowly stack arms, reach high. Exhale, cactus your arms, open up. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, chair pose. Drop your hips down. Squeeze your belly button in towards your spine, up towards your ribs. Have a slight tuck in your pelvis here so we're not arching our booty back. We want to have it nice and stable. You can bring your hands to heart center. Now focus on your feet here. Spread your toes wide, press the floor away, and then make sure that you can wiggle your toes. If you can't, start to shift your weight back into the balls of your feet and your heels. You're going to be squeezing your inner thighs and then begin to engage the outer legs. Using your feet, we're acting as if we're pulling the mat away so you can really feel the outer thighs here. Pinky sides of the toes are engaged. You have an inhale. Exhale, start to stand. Take a moment here, wiggle it out, find stillness. You can have your hands on either side. We're about to take a toe stand. So if this is a lot for you, depending on your balance, do what you want with your arms. You're going to slowly start to rise onto your toes, heels reach up, and then exhale, lower back down. One more time, press into your toes, lift your heels high. Exhale, lower back down. One more time, lift high. Lower back down. Nice. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Drop your hips down. This time, shift into your toes, lift your heels high in your chair. Now you might not make your heels very high, that's okay. Just practice that balance here, pressing into your toes. One more inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back, flow through your vinyasa, your plank. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot goes high, three-legged dog. Take a moment here just to open up. You can stack right hip over left. Bend your knee. Take some knee circles. Next, inhale, your legs straightens, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, plant your foot, low lunge. Tuck your back toes under here. And then begin by stacking your right knee over your ankle. Now this is proper alignment. In a lot of yoga classes you want to have proper alignment because that protects your knee, that protects all of your major joint muscle or joints and your muscles. But here, I want you to find this proper alignment and then understand that this isn't life. We're not always perfectly stacked. So hands on hips. If you can, just gently play with rocking back and forth. Seeing what it feels like to let your knee go past your ankle. A lot of times you hear, don't let your knee go past your toes. Now in general, for fitness, that is correct because you want to make sure, and the trainer, whoever, they want to make sure that you're not hurting yourself because once your knee goes past your toes, if you're doing squats or something, you're not able to engage your larger muscle groups to protect. But in this case, we have our back knee down for support. And the more that you're able to do this, the more strength and mobility you'll find in your front ankle. All right, begin to find stillness. Tuck your back toes, lift your knee, crescent lunge. Same thing here. We're shifting back and forth. Notice how it's a little bit more intense because now we don't have that third point of contact, our back knee. Just gently rocking back and forth. If you're feeling wobbly, heel toe your front foot out to the side a little bit. Give your hips some more space. All right, one more rocking. And find stillness. Rotate your back foot to 90 degrees, warrior two, arms open up. Now check in with your right knee here, same thing. We've kind of already established the mobility of reaching past your ankle, and that's fine. So now I want to focus on the foot. We're pressing into the toes, lifting the heel high this time. See how that feels. And then let it drop back down. Press into your toes, lift your heel high, and let it drop. Last one, press into your toes, lift up, and let it drop down. Nice, straighten that front leg. We're gonna take some counter poses here. You can start to straighten your toes up towards your shin, and release. Tee out your arms, pop your back hip, and take your triangle pose. So right arm is down, left arm is up. You have an inhale, exhale. Inhale, start to find your crescent lunge, rotate to the top of the mat. And now we're gonna find our pyramid pose. So back foot pops forward, both legs are straight. Hips are in line with one another. And the goal here in pyramid pose is to have hips in line, legs straight. So if you need to pop your back foot forward as much as you need to, that's fine. The next goal is to have a tall spine, lift up. And as you fold, you're leading with a flat back, belly is reaching towards your thigh. Eventually, you might have your forehead to your shin as you continue to fold forward. Now, I always like to use blocks if we're gonna stay here for a while. Make sure that I'm using proper alignment. But today, we only have one more breath cycle. And gently start to rise. All right, from here, we're gonna play with going back onto our toes. So at first, just play with shifting into your back toes, lifting your heel high, checking in with your front foot. From there, maybe start to shift forward, take a pause, and then peel your right heel up. Lower back down, lower your back foot back down. One more time, shift forward into your left toes, and then start to reach your right heel up. And lower down, lower down. Now this time, see if you can do both at the same time. So as you shift forward, you lift both heels up, pressing into your toes. We're engaging our quads here, pressing the ground away from us, lifting up and out of our hips. You have an inhale. Exhale, slowly release. Nice, left foot meets the right. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back, flow through your vinyasa. Nice, we're gonna take it to the left side now. Inhale, left heel rises, start to stack, open up, see what feels good to you. Here, you can take your knee circles, go the opposite direction. On your next inhale, three-legged dog, straighten your leg. Next exhale, pull your knee through, take your low lunge. Right knee drops this time. Tuck your back toes, find your stack. Left knee over left foot. Now begin to play here. So shifting your knee past your ankle, seeing how you feel. Now I don't know if you have a mirror near you, but it's fun. You can also just look down, I guess. But it's fun to see what your ankle is doing. All the little tiny movements to restabilize, find strength, engage as you shift back and forth. Maybe you play with going even further. Just be mindful of what your body can and cannot do. One more rock back and forth. And find stillness. Back toes are tucked. Lift your knee, crescent lunge. Same thing, opposite side, shifting back and forth. Nice. Going side to side maybe, see how that feels. All right, one more time. And start to open up warrior two. Now you can open up your arms if you want to, but remember the point here is we're just kind of focusing on our feet and ankles today. So find your proper alignment, knee over ankle. And when you're ready, maybe you peel your heel up, deepening into the front of your left leg. So reaching down, pressing the floor away from you, engaging and releasing your heel back towards the mat. Next time, you shift forward, press into those toes, lift your heel high. Make sure you're still engaging your back leg for support and release. Last one, lift your heel up and release. Nice. Tee out your arms, pop your hip back. Take your triangle pose. Left hand's down this time, right arm is up. Take an inhale. Exhale. Crescent lunge, rotate back forward, and then pop your right foot in. So we're taking our pyramid pose. Same thing here. I always feel a little tight in my pyramid on the left side, so I like to open up my legs a little bit. You can heel toe your front foot out to the side, pop your back foot out, whatever. Make sure you have both feet flat. Toes are generally looking forward. Front foot is. Back foot's kind of at a slight angle. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale, hinge. Both legs are straight. Maybe you reach down towards the ground. We're only going to stay here for 2 breaths. And inhale, start to rise. Now we're going to play with shifting into our left foot. So shift weight into left foot. Pop your back heel back. Maybe you start to peel your front heel up and lower back down. Shift forward, lift up, lower back down. Last time, shift forward, lift your front heel up, hold, lower back down. All right, this time do it at the same time. So you shift forward, lift both heels up, press the mat away, engage your legs, and lower down. Awesome, right foot pulls forward. Inhale, both arms reach high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back, flow through your vinyasa, or just go ahead and make it to your downward facing dog. Nice, once you hit your down dog, drop to your knees, cross your ankles, meet me in an easy seat. We're gonna take a butterfly pose. So we don't often pay attention to our feet, but we're paying a lot of attention to them today. So butterfly or bound angle pose, bottoms of the feet are pressed together, knees relax out to either side. Bring your thumbs to the inside of your feet and just start to give yourself a gentle massage. We worked them quite a bit today. Woke them up. Kind of check in, see how they're doing. Nice. All right, inhale, tall spine. Exhale, fold forward. One more breath cycle. And gently release, slowly rise, straighten out your legs, give them a little wiggle jiggle. Cool, and we're gonna end today's more chill class in an easy seat, so you can cross your ankles. Bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Take a deep inhale. Open mouth, sigh it out. One more time, deep inhale. Sigh it out. Thank you so much for letting me guide you through your practice today. I'll see you next time. Namaste.